Hello everyone, Chess Hoodie here. So I have something new that I want to introduce to my channel. So let's put things in context. So I'm doing some puzzles from a book. I'm gonna keep it a secret which book it is. And in one of the chapters, the author of the book made a foreword to the puzzles section by saying you should not expect to solve all the puzzles. They are very difficult. So, for the first time on this channel, I present something that I consider advanced puzzles. And I also haven't checked the solution. So what I suggest is, so it is black to play. So I suggest that you pause the video and take some time. Perhaps even set up the position on the real board, maybe move the pieces because it really gets tricky. And I hope you did that. So I don't know how much time has expired, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 3 days, but we are ready to continue. Also, I don't know the solution, so I'm just going to present you with my thoughts on this position. So we are black here, and in my opinion, white has a positional threat. And to show that positional threat, I will make a nothing move. So let's say that we as black don't do anything radical. So let's say we improve our king. It looks like a sensible move, improving our king. And then what is this positional threat that I was talking about? Well, it is to secure this pawn by going rook f to d2. And what happens now? Now, it is very hard for us to change the situation in the center. For example, and later I'll explain why that is important. For example, if we play c5, attacking his bishop, he can exchange, and we must take, and then a simple move, taking on c5, attacking our rook. So we have to exchange a pair of rooks, and after b takes c5, we can see that black has two weaknesses. At the same time, white pawns are holding our kingside majority. So we can imagine that this rook will attack somehow our pawns, yeah, maybe from behind. So I cannot give exact variations, but actually maybe I can. So rook d8, king e7, rook c8. Already a bit tricky. Yeah, we can defend, but we are on the defensive. Maybe this is okay, I don't know, but let's go back. So if we don't play, I don't think it's okay, but I just say maybe because it's above my level. But if we don't play the liberating c5 on move 2, what will happen is white will advance his king to support this rook, and then he can advance c5 and leave us with the permanent weakness. Let's just make some, I don't know, exemplary moves. For example, rook d7, king f2, king e7, king e3. So now this rook is defended, and there is a possibility for white to push this pawn and leave us with a bad bishop and bad pawn. It's not so clear what happens next, but that's somehow my opinion of what would have happened if we play slowly, like improve our king. That's why I believe that the correct move is c5. I don't know if I'm right, but let's examine some possibilities. First of all, you can see that the e4 bishop is hanging and the d4 pawn. So white has to either exchange or to push. Let's check what happens if he pushes. Black can take, attacking the bishop, essentially forcing bishop d5. And after bishop d5, white has two options. If he takes with the pawn, we can block that pawn as far as possible, or as soon as possible before it advances. And now my plan is to go with my king forward, and if possible I can also harass white on this rank. And if I can bring my king here and somehow transfer this rook here, it's going to be unpleasant. Of course, I cannot give any forced variations because that's the nature of the position. But it looks like black can gain some advantage here. If white takes with the rook, we exchange the rooks, and here what was I looking at? Not this check, maybe, yeah, sorry, this check, yes, this check, because now the threat is to come behind and pick up a pawn. So white should defend, but this endgame, this king and pawn endgame, should be lost. That was my, I haven't analyzed it much, but that was just my feeling, that this endgame should not be good for white. Maybe he can save it, but the problem is now if we manage to finish, he has a move, we have a move, and if we are the last one to make a move, if we run white out of moves, we win. For example, we can start with a6, threatening b5. So we force a4 and we make white waste his option of having two moves with a pawn, so we make him lose one tempo. And for example, after f5, I'm not sure, I might be wrong, but it seems that white has run out of moves. Yeah, this is a clear case. So for example, this is met by this, and this is met by, is it met by this? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Wait. Let's be smart. So maybe by this. So you see, this part I haven't analyzed very well, so I'm thinking now. Yeah. This should be good. So if he takes, he is the one that runs out of moves first, so he loses. And if he pushes, well, then he has another problem. We are the first to start threatening with this pawn. He has this, but it's too slow, I think. I think so. I might be wrong. Let's check. h4, f3. He must go back with his king. And now, is it this? b5? See? Yeah, this should be good. Because if he tries that, we are the first to deliver damage, I think. I might be wrong. It's complicated, but this is what I've been telling you. It's not easy. It's not easy. So something to analyze more. I'll have to go back to this position. Sorry, I haven't checked the solution, so I'm just giving you my thoughts. So let's go back to c5 and actually d5. Yeah, so that was the analysis of d5, which is still not clear. You see, I don't have the full answers, but it looks like it's better for black, or that pawn endgame is winning. Another option would be to exchange here, and now if he just defends, we can go here, and this is threatened, so he has to push. We take once. If he takes with a pawn, we do the same thing as before. We go here, we go here, and if nothing else, we have a standoff. But I think we have more, because our king can slowly improve and either support these pawns or take the role of this rook and liberate it, and then we take over the e-file. I don't know if it's true, but the position is difficult. So let's go back. That was in case he captures with a pawn. If he captures with the rook, we capture, and now we have a transposition to those positions from before. So either this pawn endgame, yeah, which needs to be analyzed further, or rook endgame, where my idea is to block. So this rook is now pinned to the defense of this pawn, and we can advance our king towards the center. Unfortunately, my computer overheated. Okay, so I'll try to draw the arrows. Yeah, arrows work. Moves cannot be made, but arrows can. So we advance our king, switch positions. Actually, let's do it the proper way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are our next 5 moves, when we will have a king on d6 and rook on e7. And it looks like we will be able to actually play for a win. So these were my thoughts. As you could see from this video, even though I gave a lot of thought to this position, there are still some parts that I don't have a full understanding of. So let me know what you think in your comments, and please don't use the engines, or if you use the engines, then don't share your findings, since I haven't checked the solutions page yet, and I don't intend to do it for some time. I'm gonna think about this position a little bit more for a few days, from not all day, but from time to time. So if you have any thoughts of your own, original thoughts, opinions, or some analysis, please care to share it in the comments section. But please, if it's an engine analysis, or don't bother to share it. I don't really want to see it. When the time comes for me to check the solution, I will also use the engine if needed. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this new format, and let me know, is this really advanced? In my opinion, it is. It is an advanced position where it is not so clear what to do. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.